Hello, friends and fans. Welcome to episode 10, Timberborn, and welcome to Old School Gamer channel. Today we are going to complete our phase 2 for our main dam, and also we are going to see the new phase of mountain dam which we are going to build. But we still have a problem and we didn't yet find the solution, which is how to use relay. In the last episode, we asked for help, 911 support, but I didn't receive any comments or support from the audience. So I'm really looking for a support in that part because, as I mentioned before, automation for me is new. But is it new? Yes. Do I need to start implementing it? Of course. And I start to have ideas around it. But I would really think that relay could support the project. So I'm looking forward to receive your comments or support about how can we use relay. I will also go through it today, explain the concept of what we need to do. And if it is not the relay and there is something else in automation, I will be really very happy to hear about it. So what we are doing now is actually we are completing our dam. Two phases we are running parallel. We are going to do for sure today fast forward. So we don't want to spend a lot of episodes just building the dam because we really want to go to the next steps. So we are going to focus on the mountain which is beside the dam, which is on the west. So we are going to flatten it, and we can think about either we expand our dam or we are going to use it for more agriculture, farming, or industry. That mountain, we really need to bring it flatten to the same level of the dam. Also, we are going to talk about mining, which is scrap metal, to start getting out of the mine scrap metal. Because as we mentioned in the beginning that we have 4 scrap metal sources which is ready on top of the surface, but after it's finished the map has only one mining where you can get out of it scrap metal, which costs a lot, by the way. So it costs resources to get the scrap metal out of it continuously. It's not only building. Here is, I'm going to use the mechanical float pump. This is the old method which I usually use to get the water transferred from water reserve to another area. But I think we can still use a different method. That's what I thought about it. So I was just here testing because I usually depended on 2. It also take a lot of power, but I decided this time also again with you that why not? Let's try new things. So I'm going to use the throttle valve today also. And based on that, I'm going to use also again additional automation. If you notice on the top of on the dam, we are building the batteries. As you see now that on the top of it there is batteries. And also a tip here, if every time you bring it higher, you get more reserve of power. So on that level, I think it can reserve around 26,000. If you get it more higher, it will be much higher. It will be much more power to reserve. If you see now, I'm putting some depth sensors here. This is the first methodology which I'd like to do. So the depth sensors here, we are going to control the throttle valve and also the fill valve. And then I will add another weather station on top of it to control also the water. So we will discuss the sensors and also the options what we have to use the water moving between the dams and splitting it in later stage. Here I'm just measuring the distance of the height of the sensors, so it is already to be matching. And I'm just saying high priority for the beavers to start focusing on it quicker. Also on top of the dam, we are going to use the large turbine wind. Here is the relay which we asked for support for it, which is really looking for the water pump. So now we are just waiting and monitoring our resources and also our warehouses. So I'm extending now for the dirt or let's say the train blocks. So to also because we are going to use some train blocks or dirt blocks to complete some of the bridge what we need to build for the dam. And also I start to add a couple of houses to increase the number of beavers which we have. What I'm also thinking of in the future, this is just I'm trying to measure the distances. Here I'm going to use the metal blocks only to cover the surface of the river, which is on the mountain, to start building on top of it. Is the idea is that you use all the spaces because as we explained that we are using a very small map which is 100 by 50 which is very tight map for building but it gives you very challenging way of building thinking about how to build everything inside that small map and to use every space inside. So we also going here now to remove also the blackberry here because we will extend our river. So we need just to finish the dirt excavator quickly. And then we also would like to get the zip line ready. Just giving it as a high priority. And then here I was thinking also with the water falling from the throttle valve, can we put those wheels, water wheel under? I think we can. What we are going to do also, this is another phase in later stage. We are going to increase a little bit the height of the wall of the river itself. And then we are going to build under it some water wheels, so to generate power also. But let's take it step by step. I think you know that this kind of strategy games are a little bit taking long time. So now we finished the plan itself, and this is how it should look like. So I think we will have 3 blocks maximum heights for the water to move until the next mountain, so we can get benefit of that. Also, the bad water or the contaminated water, which we have one source out of it, we are going to close it, so it is not going to be used anymore through the bridge. And then we're going to do a river branch out of it. But this is, let's say, a couple of future ideas what we are going to do. And this area, most probably, we are going to change it to more carrot to start using the robots, beavers robots, let's say. I'm here just checking that all the green trees are already can be collected. And now I'm going to add the large wind turbine to generate power when we don't have power. Also, you cannot depend on it 100%. It's 300. It gives you 300 horsepower. Yes, correct. It works on the old condition because it mainly depends on the wind. I use it as another or additional source of power energy to keep the batteries all the time recharging. So instead of only the wheels in the water, if there is no water from the dam coming, then we can depend also on the wind turbine. Diversifying your power is key. So your production do not stop at any moment. Because in later stages, the production need to be running very, very efficient. So I connected now all the power shafts to the wind turbine, and also it's connected already to the batteries. I also increased some builder hut, so make things much faster in building, and also I am adding some tanks. So it's all like you just maintaining quickly the small expansion what you want. Here now we're going to get the bed tide coming to the going to hit us in phase 1 of the bridge of the dam, and let's see how the dam is going to handle that. Here is going to use the terrain expansion, but once we have the excavator ready for that. So we have now 1.3 days remaining until the bed tide comes, and the bad water should come from here automatically with the automation of weather station which we built. So you see the bed tide weather station is covered, and now the water is going out of the map. That one, the source of the bad tide or the contaminated water, which we have it inside the map, what we discussed, that we are going to get rid of it soon. Also hereby you see now the sensor is working well, because when the river depths went below 1 meter, the fill form or the depth sensor give alarm for the fill form, and the fill form a little bit release the water slowly, so we keep the river running. So as we mentioned, the sensors what we are depending on currently are the weather station, the resource counter, and also the depth sensor. And we tried the relay, but the relay actually or unfortunately didn't work out. If you really enjoyed the episode, appreciate if you can subscribe, leave a comment, press a like. It will help my small channel to grow, and I'm still waiting the support of how to use the relay, or how to do, it's mainly the concept of the relay, because I feel that is like an if something, but I cannot get it, and I would like really to use it on the water pump. So I think the bed tide now went out of the map, no issues. The water coming back again to the phase of the dam, phase 1, and now you see the fill form is filling again the river to reach the 1 meter at least, the minimum, and then it stops, and now it's going up again and back again to normal. I really like that. By the way, as I mentioned before, that this is the first time that I use the throttle valve and the fill valve. I was using the old slice method until couple of days ago, or let's say a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm with you. I decided to, why not, let's try the new methods of the game. And I like to do things manually. I like to open the gate, close the gate, because all the time when I'm running the map, I'm looking at the food, I'm looking at the water, I'm looking at the performance of the river, the beavers. So all the time, I'm not focusing only on what I'm building, but I'm every time I just go through the map, make sure that there is no issues. So now I think the phase 3 is almost finishing. So we see now the first rectangle is almost done. And now we are expanding much larger. So the idea actually, if you think about what I want to do the relay, because the relay I have two projects for the relay. First one is the water pumps versus the storage of the water. And the second one, which I'm planning to use, is how to split the weather station with the depth sensor. So if there is bad tide, does not work, does not bring the water into the mountain dam, or if there is the depth is already satisfied based on what we are going to put set, so they don't give more water. So that's what I want to apply for the next project, which we are thinking of. So I think we are almost there. We see that we will have two throttle valve. The second or the first level of throttle valve in the main dam, we are going to connect it to the same sensor of when it is below 1 meter, it releases the water as a second phase. So when releasing the water, we are going to get it like on phases. So here I see now we are putting the train blocks. Here we are going to continue our bridge, walls for the river to move. Similar here, but you know that there is usually sometimes you cannot fill it all. There is a maximum. So this one we're going to put just a quick platform. And also when you're building the walls, sometimes the zip lines is really blocking building some blocks. So you need to redefine them, and we are going to see it now here. So this is how the river is going to move on the mountain. And I think if you look at our resources, we are really in a very good shape, and the economy is really kicking. We are going really to take this river far around the map. So the idea is to take this river across the whole map on top of it. And then we will have some fill valve or throttle valve just to support the farming around the map. Here also you see that the zipline does not allow you to build the wall. So I will just need to redefine or repositioning it so I can build the walls. As I mentioned, we are going to, in the river wall, we are going just to keep it on level 3 blocks maximum. So I think I will remove this 4. Yeah. You don't need to make it bigger. Doesn't need, because it will be really full of water, and you just need to cover it. And then there will be a couple of steps on top of it. So we are going to cover it. We have wheels under, and then we are going to put some storage water and storage for food. And then on top of it, we are going to build some batteries and wind turbine. So I put now the weather station, the new one, which should control the mountain dam throttle valve. We don't have a fill valve for the mountain dam. We have only throttle valve. And I put the relay, which I would like to make a control of the depth sensor, which is you see below, and also the weather station, which is up. This will be the emergency depth, so I will do it only on 1 meter maximum for the fill valve. And here for the throttle valve, I will just make sure that does not overflow. After we finish the project, or after we finish the building and we reach to the point where we want the water to go, we will go back again, and then we start to think about relay. If we really couldn't find an answer, then we need to keep doing this trial and error. You see, I'm trying, but because there is no water, I cannot release the water now, so I'm not using it now. I'm just doing some tests. So I think the phase 3 of the main dam is almost finishing. I think also the deep line is almost finished. I'll make it more faster so we don't wait. We don't spend a long time really in building the dam because we need to move on. So I think parallel now all is working. So here, where the river is going to move, so the buildings will be removed for sure. I will need to adjust the zip line station. Also in other episodes, we are going also to depend on the train blocks, which we are getting it now from the dirt excavator to extend our high level of land. So the train blocks are now completed. The platform is built. We'll add now all the walls, and also if you see on the top of the dam, we are now building the batteries. It's important because if you see now the drought, you see it now 6.9 days. So it's now really very long time. So I think the depth of the dam is fair enough now. Additional to with those couple of batteries and couple of wind turbine, the large ones, will be fine at that stage, let's say. We finished now the batteries. I think we did a lot of progress now, and then now we are just finalizing the last part of the dam and also the last part of the way the river going to move. We're also adding the side walls of the mountain dam, and we are just adjusting the sensor, depth sensor, to make sure that the idea is going to work on, and also we are increasing the width of the dam. So I think it's really, really looking very good. Now we are going to move the storage. Remember that we put that storage here for the wood planks, so it could really make things faster. Here we are going to have like a lake, which is going to support the farming in that area. And this is the mountain which we are going to flatten it. We're also now connecting the power shafts to the wind turbine. Also, just increasing the walls to level 3. And also we are going just to increase the width a little bit, and we are going now to move the zip station where it does not block. So I think we are almost done with the dam now, which I'm really very happy that we finish it quicker. Yeah, I know that on a lower speed it took long time for me, but does not worth it that to really waste your time in just watching building some blocks. So this is how it should look like. I'm just trying to do some tests of the water moving, if there is, let's say, any leakage or something. I think we are done. Now this is the scrap metal which is remaining on the map. So we are going to collect it. And here is what I said in the beginning, that we will have only this mine, which we are going to get from it, the scrap metal. So we need to build it, but it's really costly, 200 logs, 250 gears, 150 to 350, and 200 treated planks. It's a lot, huh? And also to extract, you still need the treated planks. So you need planks. It's really very costly, but we will need it for sure, because there will be no any more scrap metal on the map. Here we put already all the dynamite. We are going to make it priority. So we need to flatten this mountain. So I hope that you enjoyed the episode. Subscribe, leave a comment, ask a question, and I'm still waiting a comment on how to work the relay. In the next episode, we are going to continue our mining and going to flatten our mountain. Additional to, we are going to see the river which is moving now to the new lake which we discussed. So see you in the next episode, and thank you.